Greetings from the land of Canada. My name is Nooch and welcome to a support guide for 7.06 and beyond. Basically, I'm going to be making this video because I got 1,000 likes on my Battle Dome video, which I'm very happy about. It's quite awesome for that. Thank you guys so much. And I decided to make this video just because it's better than a regular commentary. As you can see, there's actually nobody loaded into the game right now besides me. So I'm going to be able to go over specific support things in this patch that you can do, that you can practice at and get better at. So first thing I want to start off with is pull times. Now, pull times is when you can pull neutral creeps like this into the lane. And you can go based off of a timing, or you can go based off of a spacing. Now, the spacing is if the creeps are here and you aggro the creeps and just start walking into lane, you're going to be able to get the pull like 95, 99% of the time. If you wanted to pull it at a specific time, normally I go for 44 or 14 or even 13 or 43. Those are good times. And that's just going to pull most, if not all, of the creep wave into the small camp, which hopefully you've stacked at that point, because stacking it is probably the best way to gain resources, golden XP from the pull camp. Because basically what happens is you're going to be getting XP from the creeps anyways, and the better you get at denying your own creeps, the better it is for yourself, because you're going to be gaining the bonus XP from the creep denies that you get, which denying is so important this patch because it gives you 30% of what the creep's worth is in XP. So if we look at this range creep right now, and I go and I deny it, normally range creeps give between 80 and 90 XP, I believe. And right now you can see I'm level 25, so it doesn't really apply to my hero. I just cheated my way to level 25. I put in a bunch of commands, like, you know, I've got free spells and everything. It's pretty cool. You can do these. I'm not going to show you the commands because it doesn't adhere to anything practical in game. So what happens is when you deny these range creeps, you get around 30 XP from it. And as a support, that's huge. Even splitting that with your carry is actually very important. So going for denies is very important. And when you're pulling, it's just gravy, honestly, because you're going to be competing against these neutral creeps. And if you're a hero like Train Protector, which I feel like Train Protector is one of the best supports this patch, just because you have a global damage mitigation spell, as well as it heals towers. Like, it heals buildings, dude. Let's be real. That's pretty sick, you know? And you could do that on shrines. I don't see people use it on shrines enough. When you're in base and you just have these little buildings like here, like this, these are all basically barriers to stop the creeps from getting to your tier 4s. So just healing them as well as keeping your shrines alive so that you can use them later is something that Train Protectors should start doing a lot more, because it's a very practical way of using your living armor when nobody's fighting and your other towers are at full HP. So it's an extra use for it. Next, I'm going to talk about map awareness. Map awareness as a support's very important because you basically always want to have a TP. You always want to have a TP scroll so that during laning phase, if you see one of your cores is in trouble, you can teleport to the lane and provide support, basically, and see if you can basically let them live. Now, the way that I like to do this is I have my number pad set to different locations on the map. I have 1, 2, 3 as these 3 towers. I have 4, 5, 6 as those towers, because if I'm playing on Dire, I can do 4, 5, 6, and I can see the HP of all the towers, see which towers need to be healed, even be able to see my cores and if they're getting dived or whatever, and it's just very fast. And 7, 8, 9 is 7's just ancient. And if you double tap the control groups for your camera, which is interesting because you don't see a lot of people use these. If you double tap it, you're gonna change to your hero. So you're gonna go 1 and then 1, and you're back to your hero. And normally I just use F1 for this, but it's a little bit of mechanics, a little bit of a mechanics lesson. So map awareness is very important. You basically want to always know where the enemy supports are, because you can counter gank very efficiently as certain supports. With Train Protector, not so much, since you can usually just get your living armor out and that should be enough. If not, you're probably going to have to TP in and put down Leech Seed as a slow. And honestly, if you're always if you're always invisible, if you're always by trees with tree protector, you actually have, when you teleport to the lane, a little bit of invisibility, as you can see, a little bit of invisibility. And during that invisibility, if you actually get a hit off, it's gonna do the root and the disarm. So if you can pull that off, it's actually one of the better ways of getting saving your cores. But that being said, it is kind of hard to pull off because obviously your TP takes 3 seconds. They can easily just walk away from where you're TPing into, and all of a sudden, you're not going to be bashing them. That being said, if you TP into a lane that has trees right next to it, you retain invisibility the entire time. That's just a train protector thing. I didn't want to talk too much about specific hero mechanics this game, though. I mean, this video. Let's talk about roaming a little bit. Roaming is very interesting because it forces the enemy team to get to react to you. Instead of you reacting to them, they react to you. So if you're Treant Protector or you're Ricky or you're Bounty Hunter or even Earth Spirit and you want to gank the mid laner, most of the time you're going to be sitting here. Most of the time right here is where you want to be. You've got a lot of escape options this way, this way, this way, this way, in case people find you. And you can have cover from trees. You can just walk up and cast spells and do whatever you need on the enemy mid laner if you're dire side. And then dire side is actually somewhat harder to gank because the trees, you don't have as much cover. And getting over here is actually kind of hard to do. And you don't have as much cover inside the tower. And I'm pretty sure that if you stand here and a creep wave walks by, the range creep starts hitting you. No, okay, never mind. But you can get vision. They can get vision of you if you walk in correctly here. So like this is, what you can do is you could literally just be underneath the tower and run at them just from these trees here, which you can do as certain supports and not have to worry too much, but always make sure what your armor is when you're going for tower dives, because it's a lot of physical damage, these towers that they output. And if you're running around a Skywrath mage with 0 armor and you want to dive like an invoker or something and you just cast Cold Snap on you, usually that one spell is just going to get you killed, because if the tower starts hitting you, you die in 4 hits. It's insane. So yeah, you want to always make sure you know what you're doing when you're roaming. But then again, you could just cast spells and hope everything goes for the best. Like I don't know, that's kind of but like that's like a low mentality, a low 3k 4k mentality. Once you start to know what you're really doing, like with Bane, and you set up ganks with more than 1 heroes, it's actually really good. Like I could talk about some support combinations. Dazzle and Naga Siren is actually one of the support combos that I've been thinking about a lot recently, just because it scales so well into the late game. Because you can cast Weave, you can cast Weave on a bunch of heroes, lock them down for like 7 seconds with Naga's Song, and during that 7 seconds, your Weave is just ticking up and destroying their armor the whole time. And then the sleep goes down, and then your cores start wailing on them because you guys set up some stuns or whatever, and you can even heal bomb with. And the thing is, early game you can even do cool ganks with Naga's illusions, Dazzle's heal, and that's just a bunch of damage on its own. But the cool part about this is that Ensnare, which is Naga's net, actually sets up for the whole thing really easily because it's got good range, it's got a lot of duration on Ensnare. Like here, let's create hero Naga. Oops. So Ensnare is 2 seconds at level 1. That's normally enough time to just run up and hit him. And when you're level 3, when you're level 3 on Naga Siren, and you want to run up with a Dazzle, you throw down your net. Well, actually, you want to cast this first. So you want to cast this first. You run up, you throw your net, and then you walk up, use Riptide, which lowers their armor by 2. And when Dazzle goes to heal bomb, he's gonna get 4 extra units that do the heal damage, and the heal damage is physical, so the minus armor is gonna do even more damage. So that, as a support combo, is very, very underused, and I'm surprised that we don't see it too much in competitive play, because it's a lot of, like, it's actually a bunch of CC. It's good defensive, it's good offensive, and it's pretty much some of the best team fight that you can get in terms of a support duo. So that's like what you can do with Naga and Dazzle if you want to go roaming. which is pretty interesting. One thing I kind of wanted to talk about is that XP range. You kind of want to know a general idea of what the XP range is. It's like sort of your screen. Like this I'm kind of sitting out of XP range. Let's see. Now that we have a hero that can actually gain XP, let's see. If I'm standing right here and the tower dies, well, not the tower dies, but that dies, I'm gaining XP right now. I'm actually gaining a bunch of XP. So further back, like say that I was here, you're not getting XP anymore. And this is important if you're an offlaner. And because you want to be positioning so that you're always getting XP from the creeps. Even if they're denying, you're still getting XP. It's fine. Like one thing that I used to do when I was an offlaner, and I did not want to deal with a tri lane or whatever, and I was on Omni Knight or whatever, or a bounty hunter, even a treant. I would just sit in the trees, just sit like this or whatever, and like just go AFK. Honestly, like I would actually just sit there and not do anything. And it's like a really newbie way of playing the position, but some of the time it works. Like the other team starts looking for you. It's probably better if you just go jungle, but like if you have an enigma or something, like taking all these camps, then you can't really do that. That's pretty ad hoc though. So we're gonna continue with the support guide. I'm gonna talk to you guys about denying creeps a little bit more, just because denying creeps is so important. Because if you want to dual lane, there's actually a toggle I want to teach you guys about. So check this out. You go to options and you go here, right click to force attack. And if you click this, right clicking on a friendly unit will cause your hero to attempt to attack that unit. So no longer do you have to A click every single one of your own creeps. You can just right click them normally, and it's like one less button that you have to click when you want to be going for denies. So it's like a little bit of an optimization that you could do, and it doesn't really mess you up that much. The only thing is if you misclick on your own creep instead of the enemy creep just by accident, you can miss a last hit, and that's probably the only downside that I can think of. But I find it's way easier to just be able to right click your own creeps, and you can go for denies that way. And you can even deny heroes. That's the thing. Say that there's a Doombringer or a Venomancer on the other team. You don't have to A click your own heroes. You can just right click them. And it's a nice little command. It's a nice little quality of life addition. So I want to talk about zoning the offlaner a little bit, because zoning the offlaner is very important as a support. There's certain supports that do this better than others. I would say Chain Protector is one of the best, just because if you have Nature's Guys, it's like you can choose between Nature's Guys and Leech Seed now. It used to be you just go Leech Seed and you walk up, and like wherever the offlaner is, you start hitting him and Leech Seed, and it slows him, and you keep getting those massive right clicks. You're nuking him for 90 damage every right click. I mean, normally offlaners have high armor, so it's going to be mitigated a little bit, and like normally they go Poor Man's Shield, but Poor Man's Shield and armor stopping 91 damage right clicks, you're still taking a bunch of damage. So using your Leech Seed to zone them, the point of zoning them is so that they don't get XP. So the zone that you want to keep them in is right here, right at this line. You hold Alt on your keyboard, and you're going to see the range of the tower. It may be a hotkey that I have set up, but if you go into your settings, you're probably going to be able to find it. It's like that's where you want to keep them. And when the creep wave comes, you just retreat. You just retreat to your creep wave, or you sort of have a timing on where the creep wave is coming, and then you just avoid aggro altogether by going in the trees. And you wanna say that the creeps walk up and start hitting. Well, say that the hero walks up and starts hitting creeps. You can still go and right click him. You're just gonna take creep aggro, which you can get rid of creep aggro by right clicking one of your own creeps. They're still gonna aggro on you for like 2.5 seconds though. So you might, what the hell? My bot's buying wards? What the shit? I've never seen that before. I just got a ward bot. It's like the best support in the world. Alright, also ward timings. Sure, that's actually obscure. That's actually a great point. Thank you, Nagasiren, for joining my video. Wards restock every 3 minutes? No, I thought it was 1 minute 30 seconds. Wait a minute. Is it 2 minutes 30 seconds that they go on cooldown for? Okay, we'll get back to this because it's on cooldown right now. But wards are typically on cooldown for 2.5 minutes. So that means every 10 minutes you get 4 wards. And if you can deny those, if you can deny the enemy their vision, it's way better. It's way better for you. And if you can find out where they're warding by putting your own wards, like good ward spots are like this is obviously a very good ward spot in early game. Like one thing that I enjoy doing is I smoke TP here at level 1, and then just like walk all the way over here and place a ward down. And most of the time you can get there without anybody seeing you, but sometimes the enemy team is ready for it if you're unlucky or you become too predictable, and they're going to be able to see you, and honestly they might get first blood. But they're not fast enough to run from here to here without you teleporting here and being able to get the ward down and walking away. But the thing is, but now Trained Protector's 280 move speed, it's more sketch. It's more sketch. So you kind of want a fast support if you want to be doing stuff like that, or just go Windlace. Windlace on Trained Protector is actually really good because it just builds right into Tranquil Boots. And when you get Tranquil Boots on Trained Protector, you can use your Living Armor on everything else if you take damage. Like you can take a whole bunch of damage and you're not going to have to worry about going back to base and healing, because you can still walk around, give vision with your invisibility, and still be healing your teammates with your Living Armor, because you don't have to heal yourself because Tranquils do that for you. Another option is Arcanes. I actually really like Arcanes on Train Protector. It's not as necessary since they removed the gold cost on Nature's guys, but still as a support item, it's very good because most teams, like even if you say you have 3 strength heroes on your team, like Treant including is one of them. You just using Arcanes to give them all back their mana is a very good support thing to do. And like there's no stat for that. There's no stat that shows how much mana you give back to your teammates. So I mean, don't think that you're going to be getting any accolades for it, but obviously the more value you get out of Arcanes, the better it is for your team. So it's just little things that you can do to help. That's all. That's what it's all about. That's what supporting is all about. You just want to be as optimal as you can, because you're not getting as farmed, you're not getting all the XP, you're not getting all the gold from creeps. So you have to make do with what you can, which is why when I'm pulling, I pull a lot in my games. And one thing that I try to do as best as possible is last hit every creep, because that's all the farm I'm getting for the most part, because like you're not going to be farming lanes anytime soon. The only times you can really farm lanes as a support is if your team is like making space for you, which it's a very it happens a lot, and it's really good when it does happen. When you're a support and you can get like 4 or 5 lanes of free farm, and you actually just last hit every creep, that's like an item. That's like you finishing your 4-staff, and like even might even be like you finishing your ags. Like that's huge. But like just one thing to keep in mind as a support, when you're going to be, since you're not going to be last hitting everything and you're not going to be getting most of the farm, one thing to keep in mind is you get passively 90 gold a minute. 90 gold a minute is the cap. So well, I mean, you can obviously increase that with talents, but 90 gold a minute is all that you're going to get from the game. That's all that it gives you. Everything else is AoE gold, tower gold, and stuff, AoE and last hits that you get. And if you earn yourself some kills with some well-timed spells, that's good too. You just you need to be good, because if you know that your carry is a little bit behind and you know that it's safe to not go for the last hit on the offlaner that you're about to kill, giving your carry the kill is way better than taking the kill as a support. It's way better. Sometimes it's just worth it to get the kill yourself, just so that the kill just doesn't go away. And even then, like, that's a good mentality. Like, you can't let the kill get away. But if you can help it, and it's very obvious that your hero, that you're like, say that you have an Ursa with 6 stacks of Fury swipes on like a Faceless Void, and you know his Time Walk is on cooldown, and he's slowed like crazy because he has Earth Shock and your Orb of Venom and Leech Seed on him. Don't go for the last hit if you're Train Protector and he's going like, and he has like the little. It's a very specific example just because I wanted to make it relatable, but let him get the last hit. Ursa early game is really strong, and like any carry, just getting their farming items is so important. What else? Oh yeah, dual laning mid is pretty interesting. because dual lane mid, you can actually do it in this patch better than any other patch because denies give XP. So if you're picking a support with high base damage like Treant Protector or Shadow Shaman, you can sit mid, help your mid laner deny creeps, which I mean, if you deny all the creeps and he last hits all the other creeps, and if you know that he can't get one of the last hits, go for the last hit yourself. And if he spam pings you, that's his problem. Just don't worry about it. He's just mad that you took a last hit, but you're a support, and it's better than the enemy getting a deny, and it's better than the last hit just getting killed by by your own creeps. So, like, if you know your carry's gonna miss a last hit, take it. That's what I'm saying. If you know your carry's gonna miss a last hit, take it. Like right here. Okay, I blinked twice. But if you know like your carry's like going there, he's like hitting, he's gonna last hit this creep instead of this creep or whatever, and go for that last hit instead. And dual laning mid is all about just how much CS you can get. If you can get a ton of CS mid as a support, dual laning, that means two things. That means your carry or your mid laner is going to be getting a lot of farm as well, because he's going to be getting these last hits and you get the deny last hits, and it means that the other enemy carry is going to be starving for last hits, and he's not going to be getting any farm and any XP because you're denying all the creeps. And I think denies only gives 70 XP now, which I mean it's a huge buff for offlaners, let's be real. But like you're still getting the XP yourself, and you're still getting a whole bunch of creep score, which they're not, and they might just have to go jungle. And then if you're a support like Shadow Shaman, you could just push the tower and then take mid tier 1 at like 5 minutes, and it's crazy. And you're having a good game. Last topic I want to talk about is itemization. If you're going to be itemizing as a support, you have to know what the enemy heroes are. Say that there is a lot of physical damage on the other team, get a Solar Crest, get Guardian Greaves. If there's a lot of magic damage on the other team, get a Glimmer Cape. Do it. It's so good. Glimmer Cape is amazing. The invisibility messes with people so much, because if you don't have any invisible heroes on your team, and like, you know, you're in a pub match or whatever, they're not ready to buy. It's like a good mix-up, you know. In a team fight, when you just buy this really cheap invisibility item, you can just use it and not have to worry about dust or sentry wards, and you're always going to get value out of it. So like even at a high-level game, it can still work. So yeah, like Hand of Midas is a very situational item. I love how it's just right there. I mean, I love it. Situational items, Hand of Midas. The reason I think that it's not that great is because you can miss out on a lot of playmaking potential if you just have a Hand of Midas instead of a Force Staff or a Blink, or like even like a Medallion almost. No, Medallion not so much. Or a mech. Think of that. Think if you have a mech instead of a Hand of Midas. Like that's pretty nuts. So you can do some crazy things with mech. Mech is actually just a really good item in general. It's gotten better over the years. I feel like it's gotten worse over the years. They nerfed it so much. I hate the cooldown, dude. It's like 65 seconds. It's like an old teleport scroll. It used to be way cheaper, but that's why the Guardian Greaves upgrade is so important. 40 seconds, huge. Down from 65 is amazing. So I mean, that's why I would say Arcane's on Treant is actually pretty good, because you can get Greaves after, and then you're just this walking teamfight beast, and like that's really good on Treant. You don't always have to go Ags. I love going Ags on Treant just because in pubs it lets you win games, and lets you carry games just like through vision, because it gives your cores the ability to get pickoffs just by having a tree like in a random place. Like say that you put it here. There's no reason to have a tree here. You're not farming this. You're not farming that. You're not doing anything. But if an enemy walks by and you have like a Spectre on your team, say the support just walks by and you have a Spectre, the Spectre haunts, gets the kill, and that's it. That's just it. It's over. You know, like that support's dead. It has no buyback. It's 40 minutes in the game. He was just going to deward something, and now he's dead, and he has no buyback, and it's a 4v5, and you can push high ground. And it's like that, just to play like that with Ags is enough to win you the game. And it's unless they have buyback, and then you just wait, just go back, you get another pick off, or maybe you kill him before again. They say he walks down here to go deward, and you have a tree. Where's like a really random tree, like right here. Like right here. Why would there be a tree here? There's no reason. And then they just go and they want to hide and they're in full vision. Like having your as a train protector, having your ags trees and places that give like flying vision over juke spots is actually it's actually really nice because you can just see when people are running. It's kind of nice. And I think that's all I really wanted to cover in this video. It's just quick. It's a gameplay commentary, but it's not so much a live pub match. If you guys want to see live pub matches, come to my stream. I think I'm gonna start streaming on YouTube. There's a lot of things that I want to do. I've got a lot on the checklist for stuff that I want to do now that I'm back into YouTube. So check out my live stream if you want to see me playing pubs. And you want to see me playing actual gameplay commentaries. Also like the video. If this gets 1,000 likes, I'll just upload some more support guides or whatever. And I'll try to be more specific with other heroes. And talk about item builds just in general that'll let you carry the game from position 5. Because that's what you can do if you're really good at support. Like I can do that, dude. I go on my Smurf. It automatically calibrates at 3.5k MMR. And I don't lose any games. And all that I do is play position 5 support. And I carry straight up. Like I just buy whatever item is going to win me the game. Like if you're smart enough, you can pick one item. You can get one item, and it's just gonna win you the game. And for me, a lot of that for the most part was Aghanim Scepter on Tree and Protector, because in like 4K and even 5K, if you rush an Aghanim Scepter and you know what you're doing with it, you can win games by yourself. Like you can 1v9 with it. It's very hard to do 1v9 with from position 5, but I can do it, and you can do it too if you know what you're doing. Like I feel like Visage is a great carry hero for like a support role. Which I mean, some people say like, oh, there's supports and there's carries. No. There's supports and there's cores. Supports are the guys that like want to sit back in team fights. Cores are the ones that just go in. They just walk in and that's it. They walk in and they cause chaos and they get the team to focus them. And like that's like a very general general idea of what it is. The cores are like the sustained damage in fights. Your supports are like the tricks that you can use. Where you can get pickoffs, catch people, and the overall crowd control in most of the cases. Your cores are the things that are doing damage, but you can also do damage as a support. I carry games with support Zeus. Most of the time when I play support Zeus, even if it's a high rank 7k average game, I will get the most damage in the game, just because Zeus is so good at just outputting damage, and that's like what his hero does. That's almost all his hero does. He has a mini stun. So if you're not doing damage as a support Zeus, you're doing something wrong. And same thing with like, and there's not a lot of support heroes that do that. Just do damage, you know, like, let's look at the hero list for a little bit. What's a support hero I would say that just does damage? Like Lina. If you play Lina as a support, you exist as a stun and a ton of magic damage. Same thing with Crystal Maiden for the most part. Crystal Maiden is just a ton of damage with her ultimate and her Q. Like, Crystal Nova, nobody uses this spell. Everybody just goes Frostbite level 1. Nobody realizes that Crystal Nova is broken. The movement slow is 20% for 4.5 seconds at level 1 with a 100 damage nuke. It's so strong. You can get pickoffs with this. You just run up to people and they're slowed for 20% for 4.5 seconds. That is so much time for your follow up, for whatever follow up you have to catch up. And nobody does it. And it's like if you have Crystal Nova and there's more than one hero that you can get it with, the value increases exponentially. And it's the same with her ultimate. Like your ultimate as Crystal Maiden just does so much damage. I think they calculated it and it was like 17,000 at level 1 or something. It might not be that absurd, but it's absurd. Like if everything hits, if every one of the random icy explosions, like it doesn't give you an actual number. For a total of 100 explosions. Oh, okay, so it gives you a number right there actually. So it's 10,000. 10,000 at level 1. That's crazy. So like 10,000 damage at level 1 for Crystal Maiden, level 1 ultimate, guys. Scale that spell, please. Just do it. It's so strong. Like, don't just max aura and be like, oh, I'm a support that walks around and ganks things. It's like you have so much damage potential, and I love that. I love that it combos with other teamfight heroes. Like if you have at least one other teamfight hero and you're a Crystal Maiden, just sit behind him. Sit behind Faceless Void. Sit behind Tree and Protector. Sit behind Naga Siren. and they're gonna set you up for the biggest freezing field you've ever had in your life. And like that's what you want. That's all that you want in this world. So that's gonna be it for the video. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys all next time. Take it easy. Peace.